I think the main reason why people would tune in or hit play, as soon as they see Off Grid Medic, we have a ton of people that recreate in the outdoors that listen to this thing, backcountry hunters, people that live in and around mountain areas. That's kind of the basis around it, and that's why I'm excited to have you in.
Right.
I guess like right out of the gate, what would be the top 5 to 10 things that could save your life in the backcountry?
Oh gosh.
Just right out of the gate, you know, like some common stuff. I know CPR is big.
Right.
Some stop the bleed training.
Right.
Are the first things that come to my mind.
Well, I mean, you know, even before that, you know, the biggest thing is you want to be prepared for anything that could happen. So you even start before you even get to the medical level. You do some preparedness. Are you fit enough for this activity? Have you checked the weather forecast for this activity? You know, June is actually the deadliest month in Colorado because everyone thinks it's summertime. They go out in the morning, they're underprepared, they get caught in a freak storm. Now all of a sudden the temperatures drop 40, 50 degrees, and they do not have the gear, the equipment, or the training, and they end up perishing out there, and it's sad. It really is.
No, I mean, I know that that's a huge common thing. I think there was something this weekend actually at Mount Evans, which is just like a stone's throw from here. I don't know if it was weather related, but yeah, I know that Alpine Rescue was up there because we have some friends on the unit and stuff. So it happens more common than people think. And if you spend any time at altitude, you'll know this. Weather can change in a heartbeat. It can go from 60 degrees to 30 degrees.
Very quick.
I mean, even at this elevation, I think I was telling you before we hit record, you know, on 4th of July, it was 36 degrees here in the morning. Like, I left all the windows open in the house at night because we don't have AC.
Right.
And I woke up and I was like, damn, it's cold. I had to put on a hoodie and some sweats and make some warm coffee, you know? So,
I mean, you know, it's, you know, like what you and I were discussing before we started, between the Kansas state line and Lyman, there was snow on the ground yesterday. And here it is. We're getting ready to roll into the second week of July.
right.
And you would never expect snow where it's normally 95, 96 degrees, you know. But it's weird weather patterns, you know.
Yeah, and to bring it back to your point, I think the most important thing that you could do is be prepared, right?
It is.
And I think a lot of that comes down to training, and I think that that's one thing that you help a lot of people with that I know firsthand. Yeah. You brought up something a minute ago that I want to touch on real quick because fitness is huge.
It is.
You can't go in, and hydration, like all those things play a factor, especially when you get into the backcountry, right?
Big time. Yeah. We, I want to say it was maybe, and if you hear me kind of take a deep breath every now and then, you have to remember I've only been at altitude for like less than 15, 16 hours. So
not even that. I mean, really, it's been like about 30 minutes because you just drove straight in from Denver, walked right in the studio. So right there, you gained 3,000 feet in elevation.
Right. So I'm like,
don't worry about that, man.
But no, it's, learning to acclimate, learning how your body responds to these environmental stressors, and learning how to prevent the problems before they actually turn into medical conditions is absolutely paramount. We had a student, I guess it's probably been 4, maybe 5 years ago. We were down at the Survival University down in Cripple Creek, and we had been pushing hydration on these students, like just drilling it into them. The morning of day, I want to say it was the morning of day 4, we were actually getting ready to cover environmental issues. And we have a safety phrase that we use in our training, and that phrase is for real. So if any time during any of our evolutions, there's a big hairy spider on me, that's a for real. Someone rolls an ankle, that's a for real. So if you ever hear that phrase for real, all training stops, we figure out what's going on, get it taken care of, and then we roll back into the whole training scenario again. So we've got this guy, he's from Texas, and it's the morning of day 4. And he got to class late that morning. He ended up oversleeping, skipping breakfast. And he looked up at me and he said, "Mark, for real, I do not feel good. And I looked at this guy, and he was just absolutely pale white. And I was like, okay, let's take about a 15-minute break here. Let's see exactly what's going on. So asked him some few questions, checked his vitals, everything else. The guy had done everything that he thought was the right thing, which is, okay, I need to hydrate. I need to hydrate so that I don't feel bad. Thing is, he didn't eat. He had woken up late that morning, skipped breakfast, was rushed, didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, so his body was already in a deficit. And after asking him some really pointed questions, his urine was absolutely clear. He had literally drank like 1.5 gallons of water between like 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. So whenever you do that, every time you void, you're also getting rid of all those electrolytes that your body needs. So that throws off your cardiac cycle, throws off your brain processing speed, throws off everything that the body is trying to keep in equilibrium.
So it's not just slamming a bunch of water, right? Like, I think that this is a really good point. A lot of times that doesn't always cure.
No. You actually want to alternate water with something with electrolytes in it, be it store-bought hydration salts, be it your own homemade hydration salts, which is super, super easy to do. The recipe for that is 1 liter of water with 1 teaspoon of salt and 8 teaspoons of sugar.